One of the questions that I get asked most of the time is, how long have you been driving? I've been driving for about 7 years, I think it is now. Basically since I was about 17, almost 18 years old. And the only reason I really ever got to start driving at the age of 17 is because of my brother. He had a Ford Focus that my dad had basically started to rebuild. And he didn't really care about the car much, but he bought it and he put a little bit of money to it to make it a nice, reliable daily driver for my brother. And so my brother went and straight traded the Ford Focus for the S14. The S14 was somewhat in a project stage. It had no front end on it, and it was a very good base to work on. And then when my brother traded the car, we were really interested in drifting, and that's the reason he got it. That's the reason he traded the Ford Focus for it, is because we love drifting and the whole Japanese culture and all that. So because of Forza and because of all of this, and I had a simulator, I kind of had the concept in my head of how to drift. So we wanted to go out and drift. So we met up with a buddy of ours who's basically been a good friend. His name is Doug, and we met Antonio and we met JJ. So they were the first ones to introduce us into drifting, introduce us into their group of friends. And we basically just all got along together and always did fun stuff together. We would go street drifting every time it would rain. We would give each other calls, work on the cars together. We'd do everything. So that was the initial taste that I had for the drifting scene. It was like everyone was cool. It wasn't a competition. It wasn't anything like that. The fact that I came in when I came in and I got to meet some of OGs of drifting, like in the area that I'm in. We had like ethics, like we wouldn't go to car meets and do donuts in a parking lot. Like that's not drifting. That's not how you should go about your business. So I grew up in that mentality, like drifting isn't donuts. Like donuts is just stupid. So I never started off with donuts. I never did burnouts. I never did anything like that. I started drifting immediately because of my experience with the little simulator and Forza. That was my logic. It was just drift. I basically progressed from there. My brother helped me buy the S14 that is in my backyard now. It's basically on standby until I really don't know when. I'm planning on building a BMW, so that car will probably be on standby for a while. But so he helped me buy that S14, and not too long afterwards, I ended up finding an RB20 that I would throw in there, and it was just bone stock RB20 swap. I threw it in and my transmission had no reverse. So I drove like that for about 3 months with no reverse. And let me tell you, that thing is life-changing. Not having a reverse is like, you have to plan everything you do. Everywhere you go, you have to be like, okay, can I get out of here? Can I fucking make a U-turn? Anything. So it was kind of bad. But just imagine going street drifting on like a 2-lane road and you have no reverse and you can't make a 3-point turn. So if you mess up, you have to get out and push your car back and forth and do all this to get out of stuff. So yes, ever since then, I've been trying to build a name for myself in the drifting scene. I've always been trying to improve driving and always try and do something out of the ordinary. I started off with like no angle, no power, just a bare bone RB20 S14. Cut springs. I even had cut springs. So that's how I started everything. And then, you know, coilovers, every little bits and pieces I would throw in the car, and it would upgrade a little bit more, and my driving would progress even more. Dumpster diving, that was the #1 thing that we would do all the time. We would find like some 15s, 75 sidewall tires, and we'd go out and have a blast. And yeah, when you progress as a driver, so does the budget. It like I can't run 75 sidewall tires anymore. I can't go and buy, or I can't go and find some dumpster diving tires because they only last like one run. And so if they're only last one run, you go to an event that's like 6 hours, 7 hours long, it doesn't make sense to have to bring 30 pairs of wheels and tires to make it through the whole event. So you have to start buying new tires. And new tires, luckily now I get them at wholesale pricing, so that's helped me out a lot. On average, I'm probably spending about $400 to $500 per drift event, and it's a lot, but it's also the seat time that you're getting, and it's the exposure that you're getting. And I really want to progress as a driver, and I want to I just want to drive. That's basically it. So with the driving progress that I've made so far, I feel like I'm on a good track to be where I want to be. I'm always trying to improve. I'm always trying to go faster. I'm always trying to throw it harder. One of the things that I'm trying to do now is get the flick entry, kind of like the Mahan style entry. Maybe that's suspension adjustment. Maybe that's whatever, grip, tire grip. I don't know. I do with what I've got. Like, everyone talks about their front tires understeering and them having issues with understeering or whatever, and all I've ever ran is like just 400 treadwear Chinese brand tires up front, like, and I've never had a complaint about understeer or anything like that. But maybe it's time, maybe my driving is progressing to the point where I just might need that little extra bit to get it where I want it to be. So I'm probably gonna buy some sticky tires for the front and see, after all this time, what kind of difference it would make. Hopefully at this rate that I'm going now, I can progress and grow as a driver, and hopefully work with shops and different companies to get me out onto the track more often. Just more support, you know. I feel like I still have a lot of improvements to do, and at the rate that I'm going at now, I feel that I will reach where I want to be soon. Just keep on driving, you know. I'm starting this whole YouTube thing because I get motivation from watching these other guys like Taylor Ray and Adam LZ and all that stuff. They're living the life that they want to live. You know, I used to go to the hockey games and stuff, and I would watch these people playing hockey, and these guys are doing what they love to do, and they're making money doing it. So why the hell can't I do the same? You know, I'd like to hopefully progress as a driver, and hopefully progress as the social media, that I can actually make some income off of this and live the life that I want to live. I want to build cool cars, I want to drive, I want to explore, I want to do all these things. I don't want to work this whole 9-to-5 logic just to support the whole thing. And I've been doing it, and that's how I've been driving now. And even if it has to continue, then whatever. But for me to be truly happy, I feel that it would be awesome if that's all I did. Just make YouTube videos, drive, build cool cars, just have a blast. Another question I always get is, what setup do you have in your car? I'm running an S14, obviously, with a 1JZ non-VVTi. The ECU that I have on there is a Haltech Elite 2500. It's a very amazing, it's a really good ECU. I'm running the BorgWarner S200 series turbo. It's the SXE edition, so it's got the compressor housing with the anti-surge and a billet wheel. The rear housing is made by AGP Turbo. It's a 63 rear housing. I'm running a Audi throttle body on my engine. It's a full drive-by-wire, so the ECU can basically control everything it does. So with that being said, I have anti-lag, like a true rally anti-lag, and I have the cruise control options now without having to put anything extra on the car. Another bit of the setup is the Fuel Injector Clinic injectors that I'm running. I'm running some 650s now. I'm only running 93 octane, so yeah, once I go 85, I'm definitely gonna have to go bigger, so I'm gonna go with the 1200cc injectors that they have. I already have the sensor, I already have the lines ran on everything, so My intention was to run E85 a while back, but with the availability of E85 in my area, it's kind of like I'm always going to be running 93. And yeah, E85 will definitely waken up this engine. Although it's already putting out 400 wheel horsepower, I'm going to be doing maybe 450 and basically pushing a safer per fuel, and I won't have to worry about detonation or any of that stuff running higher boost. Other than that, the suspension is the BCBR coilovers. They're the stock, like, base model coilovers that BC carries. I'm running some upfab steering knuckles, PBM lowers, PBM tie rods, and the steering rack tie rod relocation. The rear, I rebushed everything, so I have polyurethane bushings on the subframe. I rebushed the whole knuckle, and all the arms are basically eBay. There's really nothing too crazy about the back. What else? 350Z axles, and the stub shafts that are welded by Chris Jackson. So that's a basic rundown of what I have setup wise. Like, everything else is kind of just like little bits and pieces that are different, but yeah, that's about it. So we're supposed to be helping Juice, but all of a sudden this random BMW showed up, and now we got to go buy it. So we're hooking up the trailer, and we're gonna go pick up the new project, so I can finally have the car that I'm gonna get started on. And it's probably just gonna sit forever, but I'll have it. So this is gonna be our fun cars slash competition cars. We picked up a new turbo sponsor. Who is this, Garrett? It's a little golf cart. No, what the fuck? It's a little golf ball fucking size inlet. It's good for 800 pounds of boost. Yeah, fuck it. Full send. So we're gonna go pick up Juice, probably. I don't know if he's gonna want to go, but we got race car things to do now. So, new project. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna take 3 years if you start it later.
Yeah, it's true. Super good deal. $600.